Hey guys, um, let's start new prediction for next week. Just a second, let me load up the chart. All right, now let's start with the S&P. So S&P, 2 weeks ago, he had a, let's say, red week, and then basically ignore it and came back up. So you could say it's like a V shape. You could see it there. This is the V shape. So let's say fast pressure to the downside, bringing back the barriers to the upside. Does it always happen? No, but you shouldn't ignore it because it means this area is a big fight, and probably people see it like a big cup and handle. So any push and a break for the upside maybe bring for a retest and then moving for the upside. So if we take from this low, let's say to this high, let me check it. This is 565, this is the low 5, let's say 10, 65, 55. So from the 565, 55, we going for the 610, 20 even. So probably this is the area people looking for. Let me make it smaller. So push 1, 2, cup and handle, push for this area. And you could say by looking this pattern, this is very possible. All right, even if there is some weakness in the economy, this is the pattern, guys. But what I'm seeing here, this high, this is lower high, and so far this is lower high. So we have lower high, lower high. All right, it failed to break, and there is a reason why couldn't the buyers push up above this high or even above this high like they did it here. And what we can see here, this is high, this is higher high, and now what I'm afraid of a double divergence. So this is going up. If the price will manage to break and the stochastic won't, it will create double divergence. This is the first lower high, this is higher high, and this is lower high, and this is higher high. Usually it tends to do a false break, immediately break down. Alright, and the breakdown will push and bring a lot of sellers to take off this low, and then we have something unique. What we have here, we can see if it breaks here, it will make a lower low, which means a start of pattern of a bearish market. So now I want you to look back. You know what? Let's take it on the weekly. I will talk about it later. So look at it on, if we go back to 07, what happened in 07? The market push up, pull down, didn't break the low here. All right. Push up again, managed to make a new high, and immediately fell down here. All right, you see this? From here to here, this is higher high, this is lower high, and immediately fell down. And what it started, basically we can say it started here. When it broke it here, started to make a pattern of, I don't know what, I don't want to think about it even, because this is almost 50% break. All right. So we should be careful because this pattern basically look alike the pattern here. Push up again, making a break. I know in the time frame this is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in 07 it took a little bit more. Where it is, this is the pushing up. It didn't come up immediately. It took a little bit time, make the break and fail. All right. But what we see here, we see low volume on the upside, fail break with low volume and immediately moving for the downside. And let's look at the volume there. This is a gray. This is a very low volume on the upside. Low volume, low volume, low volume. Even on the falling down and immediately coming back, it's a low volume, guys. So you should be very careful this week, guys. Be very careful, especially because on Wednesday, I think it's going to be the interest rate announced, probably a quarter, I think, even though it's a 50-50 for 0.5 or 0.25. I think it's going to be 2.5. If it's going to be 0.5, immediately meltdown in the market, I think. So be very careful. So if I'm examining it, I point key to notice. Let's come back for the daily. You know what? Let's go for the 4-hour chart. You can see. Let's make it smaller. See what happened. All right. Started to be red. It broke. Immediately coming back for the retest and see if it can manage to break it here. It's still not bearish, even though if I see a red here, I tend to be very careful. See what happened. It broke, tend to be red, and immediately meltdown. So be very careful. It want to test it. We have again the divergence there. So be very, very, very careful here. If it failed to break this high, what it is, this is the high, 564.20. Even a gap up could be good. Will push the market to the upside, but watch it if it's going to be a false break. Also see it here. This is 563.68, probably up. No, sorry, 94.21. This is 98. We already have divergence here, and this is too tight here, too tight. So could see if the buyers are smart, they will not try to break it yet. They will bring us a gap down, which could release some pressure, and then slowly grinding and then making the break if they want to continue higher. If it will gap up, it will, I think, immediately push down. Momentum facing up, facing up, facing up, but be very careful. Because you see, even if the price will move for the upside, you would see it moving up and then making another divergence. This is double divergence. I don't like it. So be very careful this week, guys. So far I see weakness is coming. There is no indication yet. I need in the low time frame, I need let's say to be sure the price move below the 560. All right, just a sec. Nice. Below the 560.30, breaking below, and even so in the low time frame it's still bullish. Even if it break the 560, it probably try to spike it to the 559. But if it managed to break below the 558, 557, this area, we could see a pullback for the 545 for this price action, and then even entering a little bit bearish market. Just a sec, just a sec. Sorry, guys. So if it will push below the 557, 558, the outcome probably will be 545 for a retest. I don't think, because if it will break the 545, I don't want to see it coming below here again. It won't be good. But yeah, the retest for the 545 is very possible. But again, this is, let's say, the line in the sand. If they want to break it and continue higher, they need to break it. They need to bring more buyers and ignore the divergence. It could be very tricky. If we go for the 1 hour chart, let's see how it looks. You can see it bullishy, 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 break, retest. Let's see how it goes. You have here the 559 for coming through there. Do we see any divergence? Small one. This is 64.80. This is 66. Still not. And I think the sellers know this, because if it will push down, it can create continuation for the downside, because it will be something like this, and then another leg up, which is good. But again, this is the 1 hour. This is a smaller time frame, and so I think this is it, guys. Let me check something. All I can say, it's need to break the all-time high in order to push for a green zone. At the moment, I'll be waiting. Don't think you miss anything here. It's okay. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. The weekly. All right. See what I draw there. This is the break of the trend of the stochastic there, and it created divergence. You can see it here, and then it pushed up. And this one created trend that if the price want to push up, it needs to cross it, so it needed another green wick. But again, even on the weekly, imagine then it's gonna be green wick, let's say pushing up, it will create another divergence. So I don't like this break. I don't like this resting, so it retests. I know it's pushing up, so be very careful of something like this one. Alright, because I don't think it will be yet, but for two scenarios, if it will push immediately down with a red wick, something like this, it will create a divergence, and then it will push up like in the 1 hour chart. So I think it will try to come back here and then can fail. So at the moment, momentum, you can see, is below the 50. There is not much volume in the upside, all right? So be very careful. Even though this is a green candle, I consider it a little bit red, because it opened below and closed almost at the close, all right? This close was 532.90. This is 532.99. So basically, it's almost, you can consider it a red wick, almost. And then there is a follow through, retest. So be very careful of a double top here. But again, in order to be bearish, it needs to break it here and enter in a bear zone. So you can still take a breath and watch closely this couple of weeks how the market is doing. Let's move for the Qs, token off. All right. With the Qs, you can see it's not like the SPY. It's much weaker than the S&P. It even didn't reach for the top, and this is why it gives us indication of what's going on, even though it's made the same move. it didn't make the same divergences. You can see it here. This is 731, this is 10, this is up, this is up, but this one, so this is an inside move, so we need to. All right, again, sorry. This is a live, so I'm not preparing anything. So weekly on the Qs seems sideways. So you have the top, you have the bottom. This candle in the SPY, in the Qs, is very good because even if it's give a bearish sign, immediately the buyers step in and push it up again. But I don't like this candle because imagine how it looks like on 2 weeks candle. This is a very bullish sign. You have a big tail. Immediately it open here, close there. Imagine a big tail. So it means buyers interesting, but they have not enough power. Even though if you can combine, this is a nice volume there, but still momentum is very bearishy, so have to be very careful. There is no any sign of divergences on the weekly. If we look at it on the monthly, see how it looks, tail. So this is a big fight between the up tail and the down tail. It's very overbought here, but it's okay because stocks on the monthly can be overbought long time. See how it goes here until it finally break, and even when it broke, it still continue a little bit higher. So far this is the blue is below the orange, so it's not a good sign, but it's okay. And see what happened. No volume, not like here, the volume going up. Here there's no volume. All right, guys. Let's go back and see how it looks on 07 here. You can see the tail up, tail down, push a little bit. All right, so it can push 1, 2, 3, reaching for the, let's just say the S&P to the 600, and a big fall, guys. Not that good. Going back on the weekly, see how it looks there. 07, where it is here. See what happened. Here it's push up and big red candle. This is the sign of pushing down, and see what happened. So we don't want to be in an area of a false break. Let's see something here. Let's go for the 4-hour chart. So in the 4-hour chart, we can see something that's not like the SPY. The SPY, it didn't reach. The Qs managed to break it and change the trend. But remember that the Q is much weaker. You can see it even here. This is high, this is low. The SPY was higher high. And again, divergence. So I don't want to see it push above it and make a bearish divergence. You can see it here. This is 81.35. This is 97. And here, this is the, let's say this is the area. This is high 476.90. And this is 476.50. Oh my God, what happened with my phone? Let me make it. Sorry guys, this is it. So there's still a little bit divergence, but we need a little bit more confirmation to see. So let's see. There is a weakness coming in the market. So it in the Qs 473, 474 below it. If it closes in the smaller time frame, can give a sign for a pullback, another retest. It doesn't mean a breakdown or meltdown, just another pullback, and then it can pull back for the 470.50 area probably in the smaller time frame, and if it manage to break it, then it will make a bigger break for the 458 area, for this area here again. So alright guys, but so far it seems that the market is strong, the move is strong, even though Q's is a little bit off. If we look at it on the 1 hour chart, you can see what happened there. So this is a big sideways, much smaller. You can see this is the break, this is the retest. I don't know if you want to call it, if it needs to cross the 485 in order to break for the upside. And so far it's resting here. You can look at it like a flag, alright? Bearish or bullish, no one knows. You can see it like here, coming up, flag, another break, and a meltdown. Alright, so it could be it, so be very careful. So far, there is a divergence for continuation on a smaller time frame. You can see it here, this is moving down, and this is making higher high, this is making lower high, so continuation. If it even push a little bit lower, it still make a divergence, so it doesn't mean that when you see divergence, immediately go long. Just when we need to have a confirmation and wait to see where it wants to, when it's the price section tell us that it's time for go long. So far, a little bit stretch up for me, so we'll be waiting. But this is a good sign for continuation for the upside, not like the SPY. Alright, SPY also small divergence, but what I'm afraid on the SPY, this is the false break. I don't like breaks. 90%, 80% of them are false, so be very careful. Alright, let's now take it more quickly. IWM. Sorry. Alright, IWM. See what happened on the weekly, guys. This is very interesting. I know a lot of people took it long about the 200 and some even waited above the 210. Alright, and this is what the market does. Break up, there was very happy, immediately fall down, very sad, immediately push up, very happy, immediately coming down, a little bit sad. Alright, so it's a very, very risky area to trade from. If we look at it, do we have any sign? This is going up, this is going up, so a big sideways, even though this is seem bullish here, right? Because this is up, alright? So some people could probably draw something like this. So if it managed to break here on the weekly, we could see a break for the 300. It's one possibility. If we look at it on the daily, how it looks, see how it looks. It doesn't look that attractive to me, even though you can see here the volume, right? You can see here the volume, and there is no divergence, so it means sideways. So if we want to be safe, wait for the break here to see how it reacts to the sellers, because there is a sellers there. You see the tail, small tail, big tail, and big red. I don't like this red candle, alright? I didn't like it. This is not that good sign. So even though if it came back for a retest, I don't know if it's I don't know, the sellers trying to sell more at the high. So be prepared for it. You could see it here. This is lower low. It's a retest like the S&P. So see how it reacts, even though it changed a little bit trend. It seemed positive here. There is no big divergence for the downside like we saw in the SPY and the Qs. But again, you can look at it here. 79, and this is probably 98. Any push for the upside need immediately to break it. If it give a push a little bit up with a gap or I don't know, small candle, the seller and the computer is immediately gonna push it down again. This is a divergence to happen. I think it's already crossed. This is 90. Yes, it crossed. So it could push down. So with a short continuation, not that good sign. If we look at it on the 1 hour chart, oversold, oversold, oversold. It's okay. Another flag. Big volume there on the end of the session of buyers. So momentum is positive at the end of the session. It's dry here. You can see it here. Sellers, support and resistance. So probably try to touch it here. Probably gonna fall. There is no divergence on a smaller time frame for continuation. So be prepared to see how it reacts, because if it falls, it will bring more buyers immediately. And it's weird, it didn't do so like the Qs. The Qs, let's go for the Qs. See what happened, the Qs fall. SPY fall a little bit, didn't make the best divergence, but the IWM didn't. It 1, 2, 3, boom. It didn't. So we need to wait and see. This is why sometimes in Monday I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see the reaction for a short time frame trading, not investment. So IWM, there is a weakness on the IWM. There is not much strength, but in order to confirm, I think IWM will probably try to push for the 218, even higher for the 218 to a 19, and from there try to create the pullbacks. I don't know if he has the power yet to break it. In order to break it, you know what, if it breaks the 219, I can see it in the long term continue higher. So far I'm positive about it, but I don't see the divergence for continuation. I will wait for it, which will be good if it push for the 218, 219, make a pullback, bring divergence, and then bring the computers to buy and to push it for the 222 and above. Let's see if I see something else. Let me check something. Yeah, if it managed to push above the 218 and close about it, let's make me safe 219. It will break the 223. All right, 223. It will break it, and then let's see how it reacts there. Could be very interesting. Yeah, can even break it. Yeah, can break the 223 and even higher. Would be very interesting. So let's move for Tesla. Alright, Tesla daily inside. Big red candle, don't like it. Big red candle, don't like it. But green, 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 green. Alright, so inside. Low volume on the going up, not that good. Big volume on the going down, not that good. So this is interesting. So far, Tesla in the daily and longer time frame seem positive. It's want to break, and I think it want to reach to the 260 again. There is no divergence. There is, let's see, 84.36. Not yet. So there is no divergence yet. It's okay. But from here there is one. You can see this is high, this is lower high, this is high, this is higher high. So not really good. Be very, very, very careful with it. Tesla is very let's move for the weekly and see how it goes. Inside. Alright, people wait for it above here, below there. Low volume, low volume, low volume. You can see it how it reacts here. Low volume, low volume, low volume, making low. This is broke it with no divergence. 265.13, 271, no divergence. So in continuation. So I'm positive so far about Tesla. Look at story. All right. On the 4-hour chart, you can see change the trend, same positive, very slow going, no divergence yet, no big one. So sideways, I want to see how if it managed to close above the 232 in order to push for the upside. So far, it seems positive. It wants to push for the upside. Let me check something. There is a big volume at the end of the session. It's very interesting. Below the 228, 50, 40, it can fall down for retest of the 226 area and a smaller time frame. So far, in the bigger time frame, there is weakness coming back in, but I think it will push for the upside, and the next time it make the pullback, it will make a bigger pullback. There's divergence for continuation for the upside, so I see it for the upside. Let me check it here. Yeah, you see divergence, small one, so small grindy, even though you can see the tail up, tail down, but want to push for the upside. So let's see if it managed to do so. Let's move for Apple. Alright, Apple, this is the weekly. Again, Apple, it's alright. If it even pull down, it can create divergence. Let's look at it on the daily, see how it looks. Seem positive. I don't like it. I don't like this setup. Setup is not that good. It seems. Let me check something. 317. 2. No divergence. I don't like the setup. It's good setup or continuation down. Be very careful with Apple. I don't like it. So far it's positive here. Alright, it's loading. Alright. I'm positive about it. You can see this is a positive. Momentum is coming from the down for the up, but there is divergence for a short continuation. You can see this is moving up, this is moving down, not that good. Probably below this one. I know there's the 200, there's a lot of support, but it could break it down. I don't like it. Let's look at it. 1 hour chart, continuation for the upside, so a little bit mixed up. 1 hour, want to move for the upside. And in order to clear the divergence, it needs to break the 219.80. Let's see how it looks. Where is the 219? Here. If it's managed to break this candle with a push down, there won't be a divergence for the upside. It will be a continuation for the downside. You see the break here. So the 4-hour chart controls the 1-hour chart. So be very careful to see how Monday is opening. Again, let's check how Monday opening. Nvidia. Let's make it weekly. Again, and dip up here, divergence for the downside. Nothing much to say. This is the flag we see, divergence for continuation for the upside. Some stock, you can see there will be very hard for them immediately to push down aggressively. I don't see much volume there. So probably they're looking for the seller, they're looking for the setup to take up some stop losses. You can see where it stopped here on this area, which is, it's okay. If we look at it on the 1-hour chart, I don't like this area. It broke one, it broke twice. I don't want to see it breaking third time. If we look at it here, this is 1 and this is 2. I don't like, again, this setup. You can see the volume pushing up. It needs to break this 130 in order to clear the divergence. You can see there is here 93.70. This is 98. There is a divergence. So if it managed to push up, double divergence, not that good. Let's look at it here. We talked about it. So I don't like the divergence for the downside. In order to break it, you need to clear it here. So even if I see a push for the upside, I will wait because it could be false. I want to make sure, I want to see it breaking, retest, and then continuation. If not, I'm going down. So this is Apple. Let's talk about Meta. Alright, loading. This is the daily of Meta's big sideways move, even if it make lower highs. Small divergence for continuation, which is good. But again, if it make a break and fails to break the divergence, it could be a false break. So be very careful with it. Come on, why is it not loading? I don't know. Again, it's not loading. Let me pause and wait. Sorry, guys. Alright, so on the 4-hour chart, you see Meta is positive. Momentum start to be positive. Small divergence. Let me check something. No divergence here, it broke it, so it means continuation for Meta. So, sorry guys. So Meta seems it wants to move and push for the upside. I don't see much divergences. So it means continuation. Smaller time frame, you can see what happened there. I think it's the option is talking. It could push a little bit more down and then push for the upside to make sure of the divergence. So far, not that much. Volume, momentum is for the downside. So still inside pattern, doesn't give a clear, a little bit wants to push higher. For investment, I think I should and I would wait. For day trader is something else. So far, seem positive, guys. mRNA is melting down probably. Yes. See what happened with mRNA. Oh my god. I wanted to reach here for the 180. It missed. It reached for the 170. My target was 180. So it now doing nice run, prediction of a nice run, but then see what happens. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. And see the amount of volume. Even though it seemed that it can push higher, I don't know if you want to be there with mRNA. It's very risky, guys, very risky. Momentum is positive, even though there is divergence. You can see there is the divergence for moving for the upside. Come on, be very careful. Maybe for day trader, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. BA. BA, I think the same problems, guys. Let's look at it on the weekly and see how it looks. See what happens. Big sideways from the 20. Big sideways. Doesn't look that good. It break it down, so it means it wants to continue lower to retest it probably in the 130. There is no divergence, so big sideways, but make a break here. If I need to choose, I will choose for the downside. Can it go up? It can, but not yet. This is going down, this is going up. There is again divergence for the move up, but you want to first see how it clears the 166, make a retest, and before I would push it for the upside. So far, be very careful with it. Very weak, below the 200. You can see big red candle. Day trader pushing up and again resell, pushing up, resell, pushing up, sell again, push up, sell again. So guys, anytime it wants to push up, sell again. So be very careful with it. No divergence, smaller time frame. So continuation for the downside. Gold. Let's talk about gold. People talking about gold. See what happened there. Let's look at it, guys. Amazing. This is the weekly pushing for the 240. Look at it on the daily how it. This is side, false break, immediately push down. It's inside. False break, sideways, pushing up, pushing up. All right. I don't know if you want to trade the gold. On the overall trend is up, which is good. Can it give you the same let's say positivity and like the S&P or the Qs? I don't think so. Is it more a defensive one? Again, I don't think so. Basically, it moved like the S&P for this year, so I don't like it move, but it gives some nice setup. You can see it here. This is low, this is lower low, this is low, this is higher low, continuation for the upside. So if you follow it, you could look at it. This is the changing trend for the upside. Momentum is positive here, it's continuing. Still continuation, nothing much to say about it. This is it. Look at it on the 1-hour chart, see how it looks. Do we have something oversold, oversold, overbought, overbought? Sorry, guys. Continuation for the upside. Nothing much to tell us if it wants to push up or push down. So I have to think it's want to push up either way. If we look at it on the silver, silver is much more interesting. All right, because silver was much weaker, and now see the break it did on the daily. The gold is here, silver is here, so there's much more room for silver to push up. I know there is gaps. Silvers like the gaps, but most of the time it clears them. All right, not all the time, most of the time. You can see it, a big gap, pushing up, boom, clear it up. Gap here, clear it up. Gap there, pushing down again. So you might think that this is a gap, this is a gap, so it could try to push and fall back. And yes, you can see it here, this is pushing up, this is pushing down. So didn't confirm yet, but if it push down to clear the gap, it will push lower. Something here. You can see the break here, change it, so it touched it and continue higher. That's it, I think. Yeah, that's it. Oxy, the oil. See what happened with the oil. My target, let's see it here. It was the 53.60. It's loading up, it's okay. And it touched it. This was my target. I waited, let's say, almost a year for it. Always touch the 60, 55, 60, 55, and push up, push up, push up. Finally, it touched it 2 weeks ago, and then it broke down. And now this is the next target, 49. Oh my God. So look what happened with the oil. So let's think about it. The oil is down. The let's say the TLT is also down, which is good for the market. Oil is down is also good for the market because it's eliminate the expenses, so more profit for the company, more consumer spending because the oil is much cheaper. So it could push the market for the upside. This is a good sign for the market. So this is it. Let me check. All right, now it's loading. So see what happened. This is the next target. Guys, what we have here, if it will try to push up, it will create divergence for the downside. There is also no divergence, so yes, I see a sign for a pullback and then continuation for the downside. So I think yes, we finish. Yeah, so let's try to finish with the S&P. So we saw some like the gold managed to break it and immediately break up. This is a good sign. So if the S&P will behave like it, this is a nice cup and handle for breaking for the upside and continue higher for the 600. But in the longer time frame, when I look at it, I don't like what I see. I see a lot of weakness coming to the market, but so far I'm still positive because it's above the 200. You can see the trend is up, so why fight it? So I want to make sure, and I will be watching it on mine, because if I see it breaking a little bit down, it could mean another pullback, and then I see if the pullback is with a big volume, big red, big body of sellers, or even it's just another pullback in order to bring more buy to fight it, the resistance, because there is a nice resistance. So this is it, guys. Hope you like the analysis. There is always two possibilities. I give you them both. My prediction is on my thoughts slowly. So if you wish to take them further, please do so on your own risk and do your own due diligence, because this is only a thought. This is just one recording. I don't know what I'm seeing is what I'm saying, and this is it. So there is a lot of risk in investment and in trading. So you need to do, and you need to do a lot of learning and need to know what you are doing. So know your risk. Guys, hope it finds you well. Be prepared because it's going to be interesting week or even 2 weeks. So see you guys later on my next prediction. Bye bye.